let's join our palms, and together we are inviting His Holiness for precious Dharma teaching. First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Mang Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong. Homage to His Eminence the 16th Dharma King Karmapa. And homage to Master Dubden Darji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa. The Amitayus, Tathagata, Usnisha Vijaya, and the White Tara. Simu, Tanzen Katso Rinpoche, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, fellow disciples here and over the internet, and our participating VIPs today. From the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Taiwan, Secretary General Liao's wife, Dharma Sister Judy. The Accountant of the Tribhuda Foundation, Dharma Sister Teresa and her husband, Larry. Producers for the Geni Densang Shinten of CTI TV Taiwan, Dharma Sister Rebecca Shiachi. And Taijin. Dr. Ryan Zhong. Dr. Lin Su-hua. Dr. Gao. California for Smoker. From Taiwan, Sunny Line Dancers, Dharma Assistant Francis, Dharma Sister Tsai Mei, Dharma Sister Liang Yulin, Dharma Sister Jie Huilin, Dharma Sister Lin Yixian. From Hong Kong, Dharma Sister Su Guoying. A former head of director of the Overseas Credit Warranty Fund's wife, Miss Vivian Ship. Dharma Brother Gao Minglu. The senior in my former survey engineering college, Mr. Zhang and Mrs. Zhang. The president of Seng Yen Lu Foundation, Dr. Ho Ching Lu. And Ho Chi Lu and family. And Andy. And Andy. Good afternoon, everyone. How do you do?
大家午安，大家好。你好，大家好。
Taiwanese Mandarin,
龙河
Cantonese,
是上海话，龙河，龙来
and
龙去。
Shanghai in Shanghai dialect.
Selamat ulang tahun.
Selamat ulang tahun Indonesian. Happy birthday.
今天我们是做这个长寿如来。
So today
长寿如来
we
的
did
这个
the Homa of
那么做长寿如来的父母，长寿如
Tathagata
来
of
其实
long life,
它就是阿弥陀佛本身所化出来的。
Amitayus. Amitayus was manifested by Amitabha.
它化为长寿如来。
So he manifested as Amitayus.
我们在称呼了。
So that's why sometimes we refer to Amitabha as the Buddha of infinite light, the Buddha of infinite life, and then also the Buddha of long life, Amitabha. They're all referring to the same. Also, there was an epithet called the Great Light Buddha. That's also Amitabha
他的
Buddha.
法相是一头二背，身子是红色。
So with he appearances with one head, two arms, a red body, and the hair was tied in a knot, wearing the five Buddha crown, the upper body wearing celestial garment, and the lower body is wearing a silk, and wearing all kinds of ornaments, and endowed with all the dignified marks of a Buddha, and the two hands form the meditative mudra, and holding a vase of ambrosia, and seated in a lotus position on top of the lotus. So that's why we wear red to signify Amitayus. But the empowerment today corresponds to three deities, because there are three longevity deities. They all came. So the longevity Tathagata, Ushnisha Vijaya, and White Tara. So they are the three longevity deities. They all came. And the mudra is like this, because he's holding the longevity. The most important symbol, his most important symbol is holding the precious vase filled with ambrosia. And it's, the sit syllable is the same as Amitabha's. It's called shit. Shit in mantra is a good word, shit. But in English, that's not good. America. How can America become such a strong country? Because every day they recite this mantra, shit. That's why the country becomes very powerful. Because inadvertently they are reciting the mantra. When they encounter something, they would say shit. But with this shit, no wonder the country is so powerful. That's maybe why.
这个有一次我跟着这个佛亲啊，
One time, I followed Fo Qing and Fo Qi to go see Christmas lights. So during Christmas, and then we saw a lady told the man, "Shit on you." And I thought, oh, she's chanting mantra. No wonder America is like that. Even when you say some bad word, actually, they're chanting mantra. So longevity Buddha is good. And today we also had Ushnisha Vijaya, and her mudra is this. And the mudra for White Tara. This is the mudra for Tara. And the mudra for longevity Buddha. So 3 mudras. The heart mantra. The mantra that had been recited for a long while earlier. Oh, we have announcement. Next on July 12th. Is that next week? That's 2 weeks later. On July 12th. It's the sea fair in Seattle. It's called the Dragon Day. It was called Sea Fair before, and now they call it the Dragon Festival. I don't know what Dragon Festival is, but we are inviting His Holiness to go to the True Buddha Seattle chapter in the International District of Seattle to consecrate the Buddha images there on the Sunday, July 12, 11 a.m. I would consecrate the altar or the shrine there. Please come and join if you have time. And there would be one more master. And earlier, there was Reverend Lien Yang of the Dharma Chakra Temple of Dallas. And then that was recommended by Master Lien Zhen. Now, Master Lien Ci also recommended. What is the name of the reverend? Reverend Lien Wu. Please stand up. Also will be ordained as the Vajra Acharya. So the masters have to be recommended, like Master Lien Yin and Master De Hui can recommend. Also masters from other places. But we have to check whether they have been ordained as a monk or nun for over 5 years. Over 10 years. How about Lien Yang?
4年了。
4 years.
少1年了。
1 year less.
这样子没关系啦。这个你这个。
But it's okay.
5年了，那你已经出家4年了。
5 years, but you've been ordained for 4 years.
应该怎么讲？但是已经宣布了。
What should I say? But I've made the announcement.
这个君子无戏言，君子无戏言，那还是
that gentlemen don't
以
say
后要记住要出家5年，
don't joke
对
around.
宗派有贡献。
But please
对宗
remember
派有
that in the
贡献
future you
而
have
且能力很好，
to have been a monk or a nun for over 5 years,
很诚实，
and you have performed well in the True Buddha school,
认真的修法，
very
能
honest,
够
practice
演化
diligently,
度众生，
and can also
要
deliver
懂得
sentient
这
beings.
几个条件。
So you
大家
need to
考虑一
have
下。
a few of these
Okay.
qualifications. Then please consider.
那个前几天我不是请那个加州4个大妈
A few days
加州
ago,
4大妈去求龙王吗？
I asked the 4 great ladies to pray to the dragon god
他们
to
昨天早上
drop
昨
some
天早上
rain,
去求的嘛
and so they prayed
昨天早上
yesterday morning
接近11点的时候
or about 11
去求这个龙王。
a.m. They prayed to the
龙王一
dragon
看到4个
king.
大妈来
When the dragon king saw the 4 great
资
ladies
深美女
coming,
龙王还
there
是
are
很高
the
兴很高兴，虽然资深一点，
the
但是他们龙王看到了
the
还是
past
很高兴。
beauties.
这个其实龙王
But the dragon king was still very pleased to see them.
有站起来，
So dragon
你们
king
4个大
did
妈
stand
上
up
站起来，
when the 4 great ladies came.
这个
by
威德不小。
So you must be quite majestic
你
that
们
the
跟他
dragon
顶礼
king stood
他会
up
跟你们合
when
掌
you
合
paid
掌
homage to
也
him,
不错
and he joined his palms in return.
他们昨天晚上今天早上
This
它就
morning
下雨今天早上
we
有
had
下雨
rain.
而且还有打雷
It rained,
下雨还
and
打
there
雷
was also thunder.
不错那你们
Oh,
一
not
求
bad.
下雨跟打雷
So after your prayer, there we had rain and thunder. That was great.
那么加州不是很干旱吗？他们都是在
And there was drought in California. They live in California in Los Angeles.
加州又是旱灾，又是森林大，
In California, they have
就是
drought
很少
and
下雨，
fire,
地震
forest fire, and earthquake.
其中一个大妈就够了。
So of the 4 great ladies, one of the 4 is good enough. And that's Dharma sister Sun Aizhen, Lian Wei.
对，因为连为一个就可以了。
Because Lian Wei alone is good enough.
龙王都会站起来。
If she prays to the dragon king, the dragon king would stand up.
观世音菩萨相应。
Because she has gained spiritual response with Guan Yin Bodhisattva.
而且他现在是观世音菩萨的应化身。
So now she is
很少讲话，他很少讲话
manifestation. She's a physical incarnation of Guan Yin Bodhisattva. She doesn't say very much. And she just quietly practices every single day, and Buddhas and Bodhisattvas know. She never stops practicing every single day. And after she gains spiritual response with Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, the Kuan Yin Bodhisattva at her home, the face is becoming more and more like her face. So she is Kuan Yin Bodhisattva's, and the Kuan Yin is her. So she is a reincarnation of the Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. So when she prayed to the Dragon King stood up and joined their palms. So very responsive. And the other three ladies also have great meritorious light. The great lady Wei and Chen and Jiang. But the great lady Sun is different. She practices every day. And on the same time every day. And the heavens, no. She never take time off. She never get lazy. But how about the other great ladies? Mrs. Chan? Yes, a little bit. And Miss Wei? Yes. And also Miss Jiang. How about Miss Sun? Do you practice every single day? Yes. So it's different, it's different. It's not different, it's not different. But when it's not different, there's also differences. When there are differences, there's also no differences. It's hard to be translated. So Miss Wei had performed many homas and also had lots of spiritual responses, and her home is auspicious. So all the ladies and the men have got married. That's good. Now let's continue on the Great Perfection Dharma. So how do we start? First we need to think until the purity appears in front of us, and then we employ the emptiness wisdom to eliminate the appearing purity. Then it can become the inconceivable great function. With this great function, immediately one can leap to Buddhahood. At the time of leaping to Buddhahood, all words die and all thoughts stop. And this is stopping or cutting thoroughly. In Tibetan, it is called trekcho. This phrase is really difficult to explain. So the way to start is first we need to think until the purity appears in front of us, and then we employ the emptiness wisdom to eliminate the appearing purity. Then it can become the inconceivable great function. With this great function, immediately one can leap to Buddhahood. At the time of leaping to Buddhahood, all words die and all thoughts stop. This is cutting or stopping thoroughly. In the past, Grandmaster often said that in my eyes, in my view, there are no human beings on earth. In everybody's eyes, that there are no human beings in the moon. On the moon. Are there human beings on the moon? No. Are there human beings on Earth? Yes. Are there human beings on the moon? No. But in Grandmaster's eyes, there are no human beings on Earth. And you would be curious why Grandmaster said that. Aren't we human beings? Isn't that strange? Someone said, I am not just any human being, but when I want to be what I like, then I am not a human being. It's a play of word Chinese. Why did Grandmaster say that there are no human beings on Earth? This would comply to what the Buddha said, that I am the only one. I'm the only one, the greatest one. Why did Buddha say that? Because he viewed the earth has no human beings. The same with Grandmaster. Now I see there are no human beings on earth. Why? Let me tell you the reason, one of the reasons. Those who have died, they are not called human beings anymore, right? So once a human being dies, either they become a ghost or they are reincarnated into the 6 rebirth realms. And those who are not born yet, of course, they are not human beings. You have not become a human being, so you're not human being. So the past, they're not human beings anymore. And the future, also not human beings. And in between, for a century, if you can live to be 100, that's already a long life. So you don't think that this human being in this 100 years as not a human being? Yes, because the present will also become the past. And the past, they are not human beings anymore. And the present human beings will pass. And the future human beings are not human beings yet. So that's why I say there are no human beings. Because that in the future we will also become the past. And anybody that has passed, they're also not a human being. And the future, they are not human beings. And the present will become the past, so they're also not human beings. So that's how I explain this piece. This is called emptiness wisdom. You, with the wisdom, with the highest wisdom, then you view that there are no human beings in this world. That's why you say that I'm the only one, the greatest. So even you yourself are not a human being, then what are you? You're a Buddha, a Tathagata, an awakened one. One with the emptiness wisdom, your mind is completely empty. And you are uncontaminated by anything, not by the goods or by the bads. Let me ask you, on the moon, what is good, what is bad, what is vegetarian, or what is meat eater? Because the moon is the moon and there are no human beings. There's no good, no bad. and there are no vegetarian or meat eaters. If you can gain the emptiness wisdom, then you're close to enlightenment. Only those with emptiness wisdom would be called the enlightened one. And the one without emptiness wisdom, they would definitely be contaminated. So whether you're pure or contaminated, actually they're both empty. So on the moon, how could there be good or bad? Is there Buddha Dharma on the moon? The Diamond Sutra said it clearly. You have to let go of the Buddha Dharma. Moreover, the non-Buddha Dharma, those that are not Buddha Dharma, have to be abandoned even more. So only those with the greatest wisdom would reach this realm. So once you have this emptiness wisdom, and if you use this wisdom to think, then everything would fall into place. If you don't, you can't, then you might as well commit suicide, because you're making problems for yourself. You're creating problems for yourself. You're looking for the impurities. Wealth, sex, name, food, sleep, they're all temporary. I often said the richest one is Wang Yongqing. After he left, all's gone. The wealth was left with the children. So he is no more the richest man. He was the richest man during our era. At that time, we never heard of Ge Tai Ming or Zhang Zhongmo. Never heard of these names. When I immigrated from Taiwan to United States 33 years ago, there was no Ge Tai Ming. I didn't know of this person, or Zhang Zhongmo. They appeared later. They relied on the high-tech business enterprise and became very rich. At that time, we only knew of Wang Yongqing, Mr. Wang. So money or wealth is only temporarily. It's not forever. And then talking about forms and appearances, the four great ladies from California, when they came to United States, they came here to go to school. They were extremely beautiful. If you see their pictures at that time, they were the four great beauties. But now even the Dragon King would retreat. Okay, good enough. There's no need to spit more spit. But instead tomorrow I would spit some saliva on you. Good thing that you have some radiance. You have some light radiance, because they have inner beauties, not the outer beauties. Because look can disappear, but the beauty that's emitted from inside, and also one, there is a reincarnation of a Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. So Kuan Yin Bodhisattva riding on a dragon. So she's riding on me. So of course I have to spit out some saliva. So this morning we had rain and thunder. So look doesn't exist. If you can maintain it a little longer, you're already very lucky. Oh, in the past I was. You've seen my pictures when I was young. I was also very handsome. I was also really handsome. When I walk out, a lot of girls following me. And Simo also always said that I was boasting. Simo often said, but my sisters are not here, otherwise they can confirm that when I walk in the front, there are hundreds of ladies following me because the path I took. Because I was going to school and they're all walking to school. I was very serious because I was very handsome. So I had self-confidence. I didn't look left and right. I just lift up my head and walk forward to let them see my gentleman manner. To let them know that I would be a true saint. I don't look around, but they're the one that look at me, but they would ask, how would you know? Because I have a third eye. Yeah, it's fun. But now, compared to that youthful and handsome look, now I look dignified and compassionate, kind. I'm still very attractive, right? Yes. Do you love Grandmaster? Yes. So many people love me. It doesn't matter where I am. There are people loving me. I'm still a dragon. Selamat ulang tahun. Happy birthday. Because today is this little brother's birthday celebration. So everybody say nice things. So everybody just listen to Grandmaster. Thank you, everyone. If you treat the world as the moon, I often say this, that there's no moon inside the mooncake, and there's no sun inside the sun cake. So the joke told by Linda said, someone went to eat the beef noodle soup. So he started to eat, and then inside the beef noodle soup, there is no beef. It is the beef soup noodle. So it is the soup made of beef and with noodles. So no noodles. So he asked, "Hey boss, how come there's no beef inside this noodle soup?" And the boss replied, "Is there a sign inside the sun cake? Is there a moon inside the moon cake? Of course, in my beef noodle soup, there's no beef." So this is to let you ponder, are there human beings on earth? Are there human beings on earth? If there are no human beings on earth, then everything is easy. You will not be contaminated. There are no more wealth. The looks are not captivating anymore because they're the same as non-existent. The wealth is the same as non-existent, and the name also as non-existent. When you don't have these three, nothing would contaminate you. If you think that there are no human beings on earth, then you would generate this inconceivable great function. You become the inconceivable great function. So ponder upon it. So you already have awakening. You start to have awakenings. Before, I often said that enlightenment is that when there's no moon inside the moon cake, there's no sun inside the sun cakes. I often said those two sentences. I didn't say that there are no human beings on earth. But in reality, I like to let you know that in the emptiness wisdom, that on earth there are no human beings, and there are no human beings inside your mind. So all the slanders, insults, adversities, nothing could affect you. Only then you would be called the awakened one. It's still a step away from enlightenment, but it's already quite good. When you have no contamination whatsoever, then you don't need to endure anymore. And the diligence is at work at all times. And giving, also there's no need. Those are all for convenience. So the 6 paramitas are giving, chanting mantra, diligence, endurance, wisdom, and meditation. The 6 perfections are skillful means of only for convenience. So at this time, if you make use of these conveniences, then you would have attainment. First you need to not be contaminated. And how you want to cut or stop all the afflictions. So why are you so afflicted? There are no human beings on earth. There are no slanders, no adversities, no obstructions. You don't ask for any reputation or name or fame because there's no fame to seek for. And you would not go for plastic surgeries. You don't go to Korea. Now it's dangerous because there's Mars in Korea. Why do you want to correct me? That's how I say it. So if you understand my English, that's good enough. Okay. Don't ask where I came from.
No, 不是 nobody.
Did you ever hear of that song? Don't ask me where I came from. It's a song by the title of The Olive Tree. It was sung by San Mao and composed by Wang Luobing. And Wang Luobing is also a true Buddha disciple. And he took refuge in me and met me in Singapore, and he sang for me. He didn't need a microphone. He had Tan Tien, and when he sang, we often sing his songs. Where is the bird of my youth? You know, uplifting you feel the girl from the Tapan's town. So he's also the light of True Buddha School. So think about it. When there is no contamination, you have no karma. When you have no karma, you attain Buddhahood. You're free from the reincarnation. You immediately attain Buddhahood. Why will you have karma? Why do you have karma? Because you are contaminated. And where is the contamination from? It's from wealth, from the look and forms, from fame and name, from food, from sleep, from greed, from anger, delusion, pride, doubt. So karma comes from greed, anger, delusion, pride, and doubt. But when the human being doesn't exist, where would there be greed, anger, and delusion? So this emptiness wisdom is the universal I, which I talked about last night. One day, teacher asked, who is your favorite poet? Xu Yan, the student replied. And the teacher asked why. Well, because Xu Yan has the best conscience, because the other poets, when the other poets die, they give us lots of poems to memorize. But Xu Yan, when he died, we have 3-day Dragon Festival holidays. So, whatever the ancient people left behind, they are all just garbage. That's why Lao Tzu said that the ultimate sage is the ultimate Dharma. Well, maybe you're curious. What Lao Tzu said is, don't listen to what the saints said. If the saints don't die, then the path is never ending. If it is better not to read than to read lots of books. In the past, human lives are very simple. You start at sunrise and you rest at sunset. Like in the villages in Taiwan, before we were so poor that we didn't have anything. We didn't even have radios. We didn't have televisions. Not like Appian. He's so poor that all he has was his money. But in our home, we didn't even have radio, and we didn't have television. In our youth, there were no televisions in Taiwan. So, and we didn't have any radio broadcasts. We had no news. We didn't have newspaper. So what did we do? The best entertainment is on a cool night, the moon's rising, you lay out a straw mat on the yard, and adults and children chatting, and then we went to sleep. And then at sunrise, they started to work in the fields. So they work at sunrise and they rest at sunset. So they don't create any karma because there were no nightclubs, no dance clubs, no karaokes, nothing. In the village, nothing. So the best entertainment was on a straw mat after sunset and the moon rises, and we ate a little bit of crackers and fruit, and then listening to the adults boasting, and then went to sleep. So that's the life we had as children, very simple. So this kind of people do not have any karma because they never had ambition to become elected. They didn't think about having a plastic surgery so that for people to see. They all look tan and dried, and the elderly have no teeth. And when they were about to kiss us, and they would blow a really bad breath, and the kids would run away. Dirty, yuck. So that's how we spent our lives when we were young. Very simple. At that time, there was no wealth. Nobody wanted to earn more money. They just work. And then they exchanged, they took the money they earned and exchanged for things. At that time, there was no contamination. Now we do. So let's share a joke about childhood. When we were young, Mom said that the wolf is here, and then getting scared, thinking of the wolf, they go to sleep. And then when we started to grow up, they say, oh, the teacher is here, and they're afraid of the teacher. And then at work, the co-workers said, the boss is here, and everyone is scared and start to work hard. And after marriage, the wife is here. We're scared to death of the wife. And now, what we're scared of most these days is that the mistress says, it doesn't come this month. The period doesn't come this month. But if you treat the Saha world as without any human beings, then what are you afraid of? Then you don't care. You're not afraid of anything. Because you have gained that realm that nothing exists. You don't care. The three things that the Buddha said: impermanence, everything has to do nothing with me, and the nirvanic is extinction, is bliss. That everything in this world is not fixed, it's not permanent. That's why it's called impermanence. The president is not forever. The beauty is not forever. The fame, the reputation, the position, the beauty, they are not forever. So this is called impermanence. No self. is you only for others and never for yourself, then you're doing good. That's a convenient way. And the extinction, that's the wisdom of emptiness. This is the 3 Dharma seals of the Tathagata, the emptiness wisdom. A couple went to an exhibition, and the wife had a very short-sighted. And taking a look at the painting, she said, "This is the ugliest painting I've ever seen." And the husband told her, don't say it too loud, you know, that wasn't a painting, that was a mirror. So I like to tell you that beauty is not forever. If you still have any questions about the emptiness wisdom, I will continue to explain it in the future. That's all for today. Om Mani Padme Hum.